after I've been diagnosed with MND, I've gone, I just want to try and make the most out of every moment in life. Yeah, g'day, my name's Tim Eggett. I'm 50 years old. I live in a rural New South Wales, near Port Macquarie. In the last 12 months, I've been recently diagnosed with Motor Neurone Disease, which has affected my physical health, and unfortunately it's a terminal condition. I've got a beautiful wife, Michelle. I've got 5 awesome children. So we're fairly hectic with all that sort of stuff going on. I've been a police officer for over 20 years. With life, you just don't know what's around the corner. And after I've been diagnosed with MND, I've gone, I just want to try and make the most out of every moment in life, and also appreciate everything I can do and do the most I can with my friends, with my family. And yeah, it's sort of, you got to stay positive about everything you can. Yeah, being a police officer for 20 years, I've seen people pass away and not have the opportunity to say goodbye to their friends and family, and you just don't know what's around the corner in life. So you've got to make the most of every moment. Life's too short to drink crap beer, so I want to search around and try and find the best beers I can and enjoy it with my friends. Have good times with good people, and that's sort of my aim for my bucket list, basically, to get out there and enjoy beautiful parts of the world, enjoy beautiful beers with my friends if I can, and have just a great experience and make a lot of memories on the way. There you go, mate.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us at your brewery today.
Yeah, no worries.
Mate, it's the start of our bucket list.
Aptly named.
I'm happy to start it.
Yeah.
It's really good. But yeah, so can you tell me a little bit about yourself and the brewery here?
So we started off about 8 years ago in the back shed. We've been at our present place for the last 6 years. So myself and my wife are the owners. So we're only a small little affair, and our eldest son James is doing a traineeship, learning the trade as well.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah. So we started it up because it's a bit of a hobby that got out of control.
Totally understand that, mate. And obviously you're doing well at it, so it's good. So what did the name of the brewery come from?
Family dog. It's a bit of a long story, but like our eldest boy James, when he was 2 and his younger brother Patrick was born, couldn't say it right, always came out as Bucket instead of Patrick. And then so that sort of turned into a family joke over a few years, and then we welcomed our daughter Sophie 3 years later, and Amanda made the mistake of asking the boys their opinion of her name, what it should be, and it was Bucket was their suggestion, which they went on about for about 2 or 3 weeks. So they couldn't understand why Sophie might be a better girl's name. So, but luckily at the same time there was a puppy. Puppies happened at Amanda's parents' place, and so we said, look, take one of the puppies, call it Bucket, leave us alone, and that's where we got the dog. from. And then when I was home brewing a lot, Bucket was, or Mrs. Bouquet's her official name, was always around in the back shed. And I think on the day that we decided we're going to do this brewery thing, somebody said, well, what are we going to call it? She must have seen some spilt beer. She went straight for it, knocked someone over. They yelled out, Bucket! We always went, oh, that'll do. So, yeah.
Good call. Well, it's an ideal spot for us to start our bucket list trip as well. So, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So, basically, what sort of beers do you make here at the Bucket Brewery?
All sorts. So, there's about 20 different beers that we make. And just pretty much anything that really tickles my fancy as far as it's interesting. But also, like, we sort of make beers for all types of tastes. So we'll have, your traditional sort of lagers. We're in an area where that's a lot of people like that. Yeah. But then we'll make pale ales, and we'll make things like a smoked chili lager. We've got one called Bob. That's short for Bucket of Blueberries, so it's Blueberry IPA.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're coming up to Mulberry Fest soon, which is a wheat beer with mulberries added, scavenged from around the area. So
you use a lot of local products as well.
If we can, we try to as much as we can.
So what I'll get you to do for me a little bit later on, I'll get you to run through the brewing process if you can. Is that all right?
Yeah.
So what beers would you recommend for us to have on our bucket list today?
Today, I reckon for sure try the Mandarin and the hot dog chili lager, because they just recently got gold awards. And then we can sort of maybe go through a bit more of the list.
What's the name of this one I'm drinking? Because it's bloody good.
So that's Vern's IPA. So that's a West Coast IPA. It's named after our dragon sculpture out the front of the brewery.
Oh, okay. I saw that out near the bus.
We happened to be making that beer on the day that sculpture turned up. So, and it was just a local artist, sculptor. We met him at the sculptures at the jail back in 2019, and he had nowhere for Vern to go. So the dragon's name is Vern. So we had nowhere for him to go. We said, well, we've got a spot if you want to park him there. So, and that's where he's been ever since. So,
cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That was certainly a good quality beer.
Thank you, yeah.
So, in this area, so where's the best sort of, like, it's a beautiful area, this Macleay Valley. Where would you recommend to go and have a nice beer?
I reckon the Seabreeze Hotel would be a pretty good one, because
so you're talking Southwest Rocks?
Southwest Rocks, I reckon, because they've been big supporters of us in the past, so a bit of a vested interest in that one. But they've got our black on tap, our Bucket Black on tap there. But it's also a great spot. You're opposite the Horseshoe Bay, you're in the middle of town. I
think I'll be heading out there this afternoon. Have a beer.
Yeah, let's go.
And sit right on the headland and enjoy a beer with some mates. Would be really good.
Yep.
So. Part of our journey is about Motor Neurone Disease. Do you know anything about it at all, or do you have a bit of an idea?
I do actually, So we've been touched by it in our family as well. So for example, my mum's mum died when mum was only 2 from motor neuron. There's also mum's brother, my uncle. He died when I was a teenager from it as well, and also mum's uncle. So yeah, it's definitely there.
So it's a sort of genetic part of it, which is that's terrible to hear about.
It's definitely a thing in our family. So
it's a difficult process to go through, and hence the reason we thought, let's just do a bucket trip and enjoy things while I can.
Look, there's knowing my Uncle Colin, I never met my grandmother, obviously, but knowing my Uncle Colin, he was a really great man and very wise sort of bloke. And I remember him saying to me as a teenager, enjoy it while you got it. So
100%, that's what we try to do. That's really good. So, what message would you like to send out to our supporters? Support this great cause. Like really, it's a
crappy thing that needs to be figured out and
well, that's
solve
what
the
I
problem.
try and do is get someone to work out what the hell causes it and how to sort it out.
Yeah.
So for our followers there, where can they get your beer?
Pretty much mid-north coast. We stock regularly from Wingham to Whoopee. We've started delivering to Newcastle recently, but generally around our area. Definitely at the cellar door, and we're open at least 6 days a week. So yeah.
Beautiful. Can they get it online at all? Or?
Yep, definitely. Order online. Yeah, for sure. It's only $10.
Merchandise and stuff like that too.
Yep. $10 delivery online. So anywhere East Coast. So yeah.
So get on your website. Yep, it's Bucket Brewery, I take it.
That's it. Yep. .com.au. Yep.
Sweet.
Yeah.
No worries. Well, appreciate your time, and you can run us through the brewery in a moment. But thanks heaps, Sam.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers.
No worries, Tim. It's malts, the 4 different ingredients that make up beer. We've got our different malts, we've got our hops, we've got our water and yeast, and then we might do something silly like put blueberries in it or chili or whatever.
Yeah.
So then we sort of generally talk about all the different malts that we use. Just provides just so much endless variety that we can just do with the malt.
That's great.
And then we talk about our hops, and so these are some pretty old stale ones, but that's how they
They smell good.
that's 2 of the ingredients. Our water comes from just the town supply, and the yeast that we use. So first job of the day when we go to brewing is to mill our malt. And so we've got we've just got our little old malt mill here. So this is all our malt stored in there. We just lightly crack the malt. So we fill this guy up with hot water, add our cracked malt, and then we wait for all the starches to be converted to sugars.
How long does that take?
About 60 minutes, roughly. Once we check that all that has happened, we do a couple of tests and we check that the starch has been turned to sugar. Then we've got to clear it up so we're not no chunks left.
Yep.
So we'll drop what we call wort, which is like a sugary liquid, through the grate and back up and over for about 30 minutes, and that will clarify. That will take out all those chunky bits.
Beautiful.
So we're not drinking porridge. Once that happens, then we'll send it over to the kettle, and this is where we boil our wort up to be to make it food safe, and also this is where we add our hops. The bitterness and the flavour, we boil for a variety of reasons, but one of the major reasons is to kill all the germs, and then the other one is to extract bitterness and the hot flavours. And so then we'll pass it through our heat exchanger here, so we've got to get it from really hot to so a temperature that the yeast will like to multiply and make beer in. And we've got to do that as quick as we can. So these guys we brewed this week. So Bob, short for Bucket Blueberries, also my old man's name. It was done on Monday, and Kempsey is a Kelch ale, but we're in Kempsey, so it's Kelch. It was brewed on Tuesday, so they're actively fermenting it at the moment. As you can sort of see in the buckets there, you can see the CO2
bubbles coming up.
So that's the CO2 being released. So basically, glucose molecule has been broken up into 2 CO2s and 2 ethanol molecules. So it's chugging away, doing its thing. And what I'll do, it's missing all the other steps, but basically it's going through. That'll when it goes down, that'll push CO2 into the cans, get rid of oxygen. They'll be pushed along here, and then the beer will go in until it hits the probe, and then it'll push that way, and then that way, and it'll pick up a lid from here, and it'll go onto the table there, and it'll go up, and then these 2 rolls are going to want to have some sort of action of some sort.
bad spot for a beer. Here at Darwin.
Here we are, beautiful Darlington.
Indeed.
Absolutely perfect day. So, tell us a story about Darlington and what happens here every year.
Well, Darlington, we've sort of been coming here for the last 10 years with a wide group of family and friends, and we just keep coming here year in, year out. It's been the last 10 years. Hey Steve, how you going, mate?
It's a pretty perfect place.
Farmer, boys, there we go.
We
Just
are.
doing a bit of a chat. No, it's all good.
Oh, we forgot
look,
the beers.
quick,
Brekkie beers.
go and get us one, mate. Yeah, so it's been a really good experience. Just have an opportunity to get together and relax every year. Usually about 10 days we come here. It's been so good. Kids grow up, but they still maintain really good relationships with each other. It's been just a good time.
Absolutely, and a lot of karaoke.
Well,
Last night.
that was pretty much the first time we've done it, I think,
Really?
karaoke, so I just set that up. Did you have fun at that?
Absolutely. It didn't sound like you had much practice though.
No, my voice probably isn't as good as it used to be either, but I've never been a good singer.
No, really not.
I don't think any of us are.
No, it's good fun.
The guy Steve, I met him this morning, the sunrise, and he basically advised us to go to some coaching
Yes, I think so.
for singing.
For next year. So,
there we go.
ironic that the last time that I was at Darlington was when Maddie had not long been diagnosed, and we set up camp, and you guys were camped behind us, and we didn't really know each other then. And I remember looking out the back and going, "Oh, there's another Warhack family," and then here we are.
Yeah, what are the odds that we didn't see this,
The irony, right?
any of this happening? But we're here out now.
First episode, and as promised, we said that we'd interview someone who's been impacted by MND, and of course, given it's their first go, I'm going to interview Tim.
Well, yeah, essentially, officially I was diagnosed in December last year, so 2022. But that was after about almost 12 months of seeing doctors and specialists and physios to try and work out what was going on with me. But it came back to essentially the first sick day I'd have off in work in about 11 years. And I sat down and Googled for about 5 minutes and Googled weakness in one leg, no pain. And it came up with all the symptoms for MND, and I then pursued my GP to get a neurologist and stuff like that, and we chased them up. And yeah, they couldn't prove me wrong. So
It's not an easy process, that one, is it?
Yeah, and obviously it was very confronting after seeing your experience and
Too close to home.
yeah, what happened with Matt. And so it's sort of, yeah, and obviously our children are fairly close together as well. And yeah, it wasn't easy to tell people.
No.
Part of it is sort of my body functions aren't as good as I used to be, which you know, I can't continue my role at work anymore. And sort of, let's say I just do daily routines and walking anymore and say 20 to 30 metres sort of fatigues me a fair bit, so I try and reduce the amount of sort of extended activity I do, because it makes it very difficult. Sort of the balance is as good as it used to be. My right foot basically doesn't work anymore. And yeah, there's a whole lot of other issues, just sleeping and things like that, which don't help. Shortness of breath, it's not good. Even being able to lift basic things, it's become a bit frustrating.
So I guess the only plus side of all of that is that you now get to buy yourself all those cool toys.
Oh, like scooters and stuff like that.
That's right.
Yeah, something I always dreamed of having. But And I'm trying to sort of get whatever I can to make me still do things with my friends and family that I can.
Yeah.
Obviously my golf game has actually improved.
Yes.
Which is unusual.
Of that.
Yeah. So yeah, I've developed a new technique for that. It doesn't look very good, but it actually
It
works.
does the trick, that's right. And you fancy new e-scooter or e-bike?
Yeah, well, I picked that up a couple of days ago, and yeah, I didn't expect to be having one of them, but geez, the race is going like crazy. So I don't have to pedal, which is even better.
So good. Ride down the beach.
Yeah, I had a couple trips down the beach on it, and yeah, it's...
You're just going to have to fight the kids off, that's all.
Oh, look, the community we live in is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
A lot of colleagues from work and people have been involved in the local sporting communities, like the local rugby league club. I haven't asked for any help from any of these people, but it's just been amazing the support that I've been receiving. I didn't see any of this happening 12 months ago.
No.
But,
it's hard to accept it, isn't it, sometimes?
It's been a bit of a whirlwind the last 12 months.
Yeah.
The support's been amazing, but also a lot of running around. Weekly basis, we do have some fairly regular appointments with local professionals.
Yeah.
But also I'm involved with Macquarie University, and they've been really supportive as well. They've got an MD clinic, and I see Professor Dominic Rowe, and he's been really awesome, and they do have a really good support team there as well. So I'm ducking down to Sydney on a fairly regular basis. But I'm also involved in a new clinical trial as well, which hopefully might work.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I could be taking placebo tablets every day. I just don't. It's called Lighthouse 2 trial.
Yep.
Essentially, they're giving tablets with potential in relation to a virus, but I could be taking placebo as well. So what that basically means, every 3 months I have to go back down there, get blood tests, get some urine tests and all that sort of stuff. And they just give me heaps more tablets. And they just do a bit of a check on how this is progressing. I think since my diagnosis, I also joined on the Facebook pages and stuff like that with people that are going through a similar process. And I think I'm actually lucky that mine doesn't appear to be as progressing as fast. I know, I just try to appreciate every single moment of every day. Like, I feel blessed because my career, working career, I saw a lot of people lose their lives without them having an opportunity to say goodbye to their friends I feel like. Where I'm trying to make the very most out of every moment I can.
Absolutely. Wake up and watch the sunrise or something like this.
Yeah, or I come out here this morning about 5:30 and it was cracking sunrise. And we've got a good place where we live, and I really enjoy the sunsets in the afternoon. And if I get the opportunity, I might have a beautiful craft beer at the same time.
Absolutely.
Made a lot of people cry. And then word got out obviously throughout the community. Within the family structure, I can't do as many things around the house as I'd like to be able to do. So it puts a bit more pressure on my beautiful wife. And there's a little bit of extra stress as we deal with this process. But we're trying to handle it as best as we can. Well, it's not really out there in what the symptoms are. It's actually becoming a lot more common. We're doing studies for that in different communities, but because they still don't know what causes it, they can't really get a cure. But on top of that, I suppose it does take a long time to get diagnosed, and I think there needs to be a lot more education out there so people can identify all the different symptoms.
sort of focus on the positive side of things. You just got to be positive about everything you can try and do. Look,
Squeeze those lemons.
yeah, and try and get all your stuff, like say your finances and all that sort of stuff for your family, organised as soon as you can.
That's great.
And then that way you don't have to stress about that as much, and then you can go and enjoy every moment.
Absolutely. That's great advice.
Because there is a lot of paperwork and dealing with like the NDIS process, which has been really supportive, but it's still a challenge to get through. I haven't really been given any advice, to tell you the truth. Just to get out there and have fun, make memories with your friends and family.
Have you got a favourite quote?
Life's too short to drink crap beer.
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about?
Absolutely.
No, well, it is what it is as well. That's another quote. You just got to deal with it. Just got to harden up. That's what I'm trying to do.